Alright guys, today we got an Xbox 360 Elite. It does work, but it's very dusty. It's been sitting on my shelf for a while. My truck is down, so we're going to go ahead and clean this up. We're going to stick it on eBay for 99 cents. Starting bid. Alright, we're going to start out by pulling the faceplate off. And we're going to put a little glue on these doors because the springs are missing. And this thing's from 2015, 2013, somewhere in there. And we're going to do our best to clean this up. If you clean that, you want to be careful you don't pop that button out. You just take a look at this thing. We're going to pop this sucker out. I found most of the time there are pinholes in the side that you can push on the tabs, but most of the time they're broken. If you can pop one or two of those, you can normally get it. Sometimes I'll just grab it, get my fingers under it, get these first two off, and then I'll just pull it right off. If there's broken tabs, there's broken tabs. It's an old machine. This plastic is tough. I'd say 90% of the time there's probably one broken tab, which is what you normally hear rattling around in these things. I think I had one broken tab. And they don't, it's not necessarily that they break off, they're just split on the ends. Alright, we just pulled the warranty sticker, that's it. No more warranty. Alright, well, we're on our own. Don't even bother to call customer support because they will not help you. We're going to go ahead, I know you can't see it, but that's the beauty of me not being a good videographer here. You know, unsnap all the snaps in the front while applying a little bit of pressure, spreading pressure with your other fingers. Once you get that loose, you'll see it's kind of loose. Then we're going to go to the back. I've got a screwdriver that I shaved down that's real thin, and you're going to see little gaps in the back of this console. Okay, and what you want to do is you want to put your fingers in the top of it. See if I can show you. There's little gaps all the way down. You'll see it. It's hard to see on this. What I do is I put my fingers in the top and I kind of use a spreading force, and then I just, you go down and you can look even right there, you can see that clip. So what you do is you want to spread it apart and go ahead and just work your way down, and it'll kind of come apart for you. You'll see as I work my way down. I forgot to turn my camera up. There it is. See how it popped? So I'm hitting all these clips, and there's a couple down here as well. Don't freak out, and don't go too hard. And it'll just pop. And be careful not to let it pop back in. See if I can keep this towel straight here. Make sure they stay apart, and then lay it down flat. Or take the back off. Bottom, I should say. That's pretty dusty. Sparkle's not wanting to be messed with right now. Now we're going to go ahead, we're going to take our body screws out. They're the bigger screws that are in here. I believe there's 6. On this unit, we had one that was either missing or broken. I believe it was broken. Somebody broke the post. Alright, we got those off. We're going to go ahead and take our eject button off, the little pry action underneath. Try to stay away from the actual button. Get that button out of the way. I'm going to clean that by hand, but we're going to go ahead and put it in the clean basket. Oh yeah, I see dust. This is going to be fun. The top should wiggle right off. Yeah, it's pretty caked. And it looks as if this top is actually melted on there. Alright, well, we're going to take our plate off. I've marked it off the front RF chip. We're going to get our Torx here, safety Torx, and our cheap Walmart drill. We're going to back those out. I got a dead battery in my Ryobi, and then my other Ryobi, I lost the magnet so the bit don't stay in it. It doesn't have a locking bit, and I love that drill. Or should I say electric screwdriver. This chip is actually the cleanest part of this unit as far as dust goes. Now there's a difference between roach poop, soda, stuff like that. Dust isn't bad as long as your intake's not too bad. This one really wasn't. cut the safety tape off the disk drive, and I'm just going to wiggle these wires and pull it right out. So easy. Sometimes they're tight though. If it's tight, grab your pick or your shim or whatever you want to call whatever you're using. Just give it a tiny little pry. It'll come right out. Oh yeah. Dust. That's the good stuff. We're going to go ahead and dust this off in front of my very expensive fan here. What I did is I just got a big fan with a sponge filter, and then I spray the filter with peppermint oil, and that dust just sticks right to it. And then I'll soak it in purple power later, and it'll be clean. This thing is very dusty. All right, next up, fan shroud should pop right out. Now, I haven't done one of these in a long time, so I'm not sure if it's screwed in, but I'm going to take my little screwdriver, see if this helps. Yeah, just pop it right off there. Not too bad, but it's going to get washed, and then it's going to get treated with silicone and wiped down. Put that in the wash bin. Next is our fan. Normally I can just grab this and unplug it, but I couldn't this time, so I'm going this direction. Pry that up a hair. Try not to break these posts. Just wiggle it around and it'll come out. You'll find the sweet spot. Don't rush it. I had to go to my toolbox and get a pair of needle-nose pliers to get that fan connection off. Pretty crazy. I've never had one, never seen one that tight. But that's okay. And look how dirty that is. This is going to be clean when I'm done. You can see our heat sink's not too bad for considering. I'm going to get these screws off of here. All of them. And we're going to lift our board out. Right. It's pretty dusty. We're going to pressure wash this thing. Alright. Ooh. Next up is our X-clamps. I got a pick and I just kind of wiggle the first one out and just basically follow that around for each one. Once you get two of them out, it's basically loose. Just be careful. Don't stab yourself in the hand. I've done it. It sucks. Just be gentle. Not a big deal. Alright, so we got them both off. And they're nasty. They'll be cleaned, and I'll take a razor blade and scrape that paste off because we're going to repaste this. I'm going to clean these around here. Alright, everything's been pressure washed and cleaned. Oh wait, no, we're still disassembly. Got my iron here. We're going to melt these two spots, take that off. When I put this back together, the post that is broken will also be glued down so that the machine doesn't rattle. I want this top piece to rattle, and that'll just kind of pop off. You'll feel it. There it is. Applying a little bit of pressure, pops right off. I can see some corrosion here, a little bit of what was wet. That dust was holding moisture. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to clean this up, sand it down, paint it, or sand it down, pressure wash it, and I'm going to paint it. Now, I've already brushed this once, but it's pretty bad, so I'm going to fine tune it here a little bit. Because my final step on this fan will be spraying it with silicone spray, and I'll be getting in there on them fan blades with the Q-tip. Alright, let's get into this disk drive. 4 screws. This thing's going to come apart. These are very easy to do. Try to be a little more gentle, and if you can remember, like I didn't, there's a security sticker on the other side, a warranty sticker or something, if you will. Cut that first, and it'll make it easier. And as I'm going to find out, oh, yep, there it is, I forgot. There you go, a little cut right there. Normally the other ones are on the front of the console. Or the drive. It's pretty dusty. Not too bad. I see a couple little tiny rust spots in there we will treat. This should pop right off. Come on, guy. Dusty. I'll brush them out and then clean them. I'll brush out all the big chunks out of this drive. A lot of the dust is going to be in the tracks. And you'll see, you can see bottom right on the disk drive, it's dirty. Like the disk drive is dirty. And I don't really know how to open this one. This one's a little different. It's a little older, but I'm looking for a round hole, and it's not a round hole. It's the sleeve at the top. It's like a slot. So sorry, my computer went out. The screen went out. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue to get these chunks out of here. Look at that. That's in the track for the disk drive. And again, this thing was working. It was not overheating. I played it when I test up. I'm 30 minutes at least. Go ahead and knock some of that dust out. I'm trying to keep the dust away from the laser, which we are going to clean. All right. So we got to open this bad boy up. So we got more work to do. There's a belt here we got to change. Found the lock. Just push it in there. It'll let you free up this drive tray, disk tray. Normally I would speed through this, but for this video we're going to kind of focus on this drive. I'm going to show you all the tracks, everywhere that I clean using alcohol. And we are going to put some lube on this when we're done. These shafts definitely need to be cleaned. Any hair you see, I don't know how hair gets in here, but it does. Maybe a little tiny piece of thread or something. I don't know how it finds these spots. You tell me in the comments how hair. I mean, I guess the disk drive does come in and out, so it's not that big a deal. Some little kid's playing with it. She goes to shut it, and her hair gets stuck in there or something. Who knows? Kids do crazy stuff. Yes, I use lots and lots of Q-tips. So when you're bidding on this thing on eBay, somebody Q-tip this thing clean, like literally. I'm going to do this whole thing. Tracks on the disk drive right here, tray, are very important. We want those clean and lubed so that we're not stressing the belt over time on the disk drive or the motor. We want it to be able to do its job easily. I really don't prefer to put like a grease, even though that's probably what was on here originally. I prefer just a light oil. It's plastic, so the two can rub. If you put grease in there, I just feel like it's gonna, if it gets dusty, it's gonna attract it and it's gonna stay there. It's gonna eventually get clumpy. I don't know. I don't think buying special grease for this is necessary. This thing's 20 years old. Oh no, this thing's 10 years old, right? 2015, we're in 2025. Yeah, 10 years old. Seems like it's much older than that, but maybe the software update says it was 2013 when I looked at the system firmware. I think this came out in like 2008 or 9. I'm not sure. It was probably updated in 2013. I know the last Xbox One was made in like 2004 or 5. And this is the last version of this, I believe, or the latest, one of the later versions. Comes with 120 gigs, bruh. You can store all your stuff. See how dirty those Q-tips are coming out? This is crazy. But that's alright. A good challenge is always recommended. Challenge yourself every day. Even if you're doing the same thing every day, challenge yourself to do a better job the next day. Or maybe faster and better if you need be. And if you're just that good, do it with your eyes closed. You can always challenge yourself. Get these tracks nice and clean. Try not to bump the laser ever. Just getting these tracks clean. Yours may not be this dirty. I like to see a white Q-tip come out of there, to be honest. I'm pretty happy with that. Cleaning this track on the other side, you can't see it. I apologize for that, but That's what my squeaky chair here says. Just gonna have to deal with that. Oh, it's a good time for me to tell you about my soap. I got all natural soap on my eBay. There's a link down below. Get you some soap. All natural. A lot of it's goat milk soap. Look at that. Yeah, dirty. You don't want that in your machine, man. You know when you buy one of these used machines on eBay, that's what it looks like inside. They're not very clean. But yeah, that soap's all natural. It's local made with goat milk, shea butter. It's great stuff. And if you're a guy and you buy it and you just don't like it, you can always wrap it up and put it in a little gift basket for your girl. Or as some of my friends do. They'll buy bars of soap from me and they'll leave them in their car. I'm like, what? They're like, oh, it's the best air freshener ever. I'm like, hey man, you do you. I actually use soap to wash my body. Actually, I've been using that goat milk soap for 5 years now. And I got a lot of hair. I don't use shampoo and conditioner. Right here along this rim, man, you see how brown that is every time. You're selling somebody something, I don't care if it's a 99-cent auction or not. You're selling it as cleaned and refurbished, or at least clean. I don't know what else you can do to refurbish this unless you want to get crazy and replace all the caps. But it works already. Next time I'll try not to have my belly in the picture. It's really not that big. I'm just short and got to be close to it. I got short arms. They call me the T-Rex. See what we get off this top cover. The top's going to be more dirty than anything, right? Flat surface, closer to the opening. Not too bad, really. Yeah, dirty, as expected. All right, we're going to pull this drive belt here off. Your motor drives a pulley. The drive belt. Hey, we're going to put it right there. We're going to clean the tops of these gears so that there's no junk to get in here when we're done. And you can actually just rotate the drawer back and forth and hold the Q-tip there. Yeah, look at all that dirt. You don't want that in your machine, man. I'm going to do them all like this. Even the little tiny one. Come here, little guy. We know you got some power. Alright. Probably take another one and maybe clean the gears a little bit. No, did that off screen. Alright, we're going to take our belt. We're going to wrap it around the large portion first. Trying to keep the belt square to the pulley. Not twisting the belt. Take your pick, bring it up. Get it over the small pulley. When you put it on there, look, make sure your belt is not twisted. 90% of the time it's going to be twisted. You're not going to normally get that on first try. And if it's not, go ahead and just take your pick. Find where one of the loops start, where it's twisted, and then just roll it back around the pulley again, and it'll undo itself. And we're going to do the same to this back side here. Looks pretty clean, but there's chunks of dust coming out of it. Look at my fan. It's like caked. That's awesome. That's nothing. We haven't even done the internal part yet. I'm going to Q-tip the daylights out of this thing. Especially in the corners where stuff likes to hide. And the tracks. And the gears. There's gears in here. They're not really gears. They're more like, you can't really call them splines either. Spline would be on the shaft, but they're grooves or teeth. You'll see them. Make sure all this stuff's clean. Trying to make sure my tracks are clean underneath. But now I'm going to come back and I'm going to oil this guy up. Just a little bit of oil on a Q-tip. Not wanting to get a lot, just enough where it makes it look shiny. I'm going to do the back side the same. Man, I need a new chair. You guys need to send me money through my coffee so I can get a new chair that's not creaky. I thought I moved my ribbon, but that's okay. What I'm doing here is I got a paint marker, and there was a little corrosion on this, so I'm just gonna, I sanded it down and I treated it with alcohol, and now I am painting it. Next up is our laser. I like to clean the laser. I like to be real gentle, not too much alcohol, and then I like to look at the Q-tip and see what came off. Nothing came off. Miraculously, this laser is clean. Go ahead and put our top piece on. Put our bottom on. Screw it together, and our disk drive should be ready to go. Pretty simple, guys. Pretty simple. Don't force it together. Just let it go. You're not going to get it straight every time. Double check all your spots. If you're selling somebody something and you're taking this much time to do it, don't leave one of the feet or something full of dirt. Like, don't do an excellent job and leave 10% just shitty. That ruins everything. Surprised we didn't fast forward through this. I had some problems. This is like my second time around for that. Alright, so for the disk drive trim, I got a little bit of Mother's, and I'm just going to polish this thing up. It's pretty basic. You rub it on there. This thing's got scratches on it and stuff, but this will give it a nice coating as well to help it be protected. You can see. Yeah, the end process, you want to buff real well. This is our heat sink. This is transferring the heat from the chip to the coil, and then from the coil to the air. Now I'm in here with my silicone and my Q-tip, and I'm getting down in the corners of the fan, like where the fan blade, if you will, connects to the motor body, the plastic motor body that actually spins it. You want to get in there and get it real good. The rods that hold the fan, you can see. You can't probably see it, but there's, after all this brushing I did, there's still a little bit of stuff on there, a little bit of dust. You can get that out of there. Now, if you have an air compressor, you can go outside and you can blow a lot of this stuff out, but you'll still need to scrub it. Alright, moving on to the paste. We've cleaned these guys, and we're going to give them a secret amount. You don't want too much to where it's going to flatten it out and be a mess on the board. And remember, it's a very thin layer there, so don't expect it to be thick like a dime. It's probably a little thinner than a dime, or a lot thinner, probably a 32nd, if you will. These can be tricky, and I got confused on this one, which one went where. So what I would suggest is think about it. I'm thinking about it right now. This would maybe sit on this capacitors. Look at the wear marks on stuff. Set that down, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, am I in? I'm like, that ain't right. Okay. Alright, we're sitting on there. Does it go this way? No, it wouldn't, because it's going to hit those other ones. Alright, that's not right. And instead of moving it over to the next one, I grab the other one. Amateur move. And then I switch. I start doing it on the one that I just had. But I'm looking at the wear patterns. And I'm thinking that's a single, the other one's a double. But really that little one doesn't leave much of a mark. I'm looking at how that would go, and I'm thinking, you look good right here, bro. Once you get that thing pushed through on this one, keep pressure on your board to keep your paste as even as possible. You're going to hook your X-clamp in and then just push them down. That's simple. Once they're locked in, do an examination of each one and make sure that they all look alike and they're in that ring. I'll probably do that off camera here. Trying to get that clamp pushing. Sometimes they're a little tricky. You got to play with it a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and go over to the toolbox here. This should have been edited out, but, you know, it wasn't. So I'm having issues with this one coming down. So, just not wanting to sit in. So what I'm going to do I'm gonna take it back off is what I believe I do. And I'm gonna switch it with the other one. Or you can take it back off and just start over. I'm not properly aligned. Something is messing with me. I don't know how I delete this stuff out, but here I am doing a voiceover and it's still here. See if I can pop this one. I'm trying to. It's really hard to do this when you're worried about like the camera angle. And look, my camera angle is not even good. All right, can we get an edit here? Remember, get stuck somewhere like this. Don't get frustrated. I'm trying to keep pressure on the board. Whoop, see I lifted it up. Not the best, not gonna kill it. But if you take it fully off, you're gonna need to redo it. It'll overheat quick. You'll know if you did it right or not. You test it, you play it for an hour, you'll know. I'm doing an exam under the microscope, under the magnifying glass, sorry. There's that small one, I'm gonna line it up. Drop it in, look at that, nice and clean too, looks pretty. I'm gonna have to keep my hand on this one because it'll just fall out if I don't. Next clip went right in. We're gonna put this in the board. Now I forgot to put the screws in. At this point I would screw this board in, and I didn't do that. I just went moving right along, but I'm gonna do some video editing. When you put this in, make sure all these line up. I'm gonna go ahead and drop the fan in, and we're gonna pretend like I screwed the screws in at this point, but we might see some screw action in another video. It might be a little tight. Go ahead and get your pick in here. Just make a tiny little bit of room and then pop it in. Make sure it's snug. Wiggle it around. Make sure it's not loose. Plug your wires in. Snap your fan shroud down in. Careful when you do this. If you push it doesn't seem to want to go, do it again. Or move it around just a hair. Don't stick it in there and force it around a lot. You will bend stuff. Drop our disk drive in. Get our RF chip in the front. It's pretty basic. We're just going to screw this in. Bam. Put 3 screws in it. Put the white piece back on. We've got our painted hood. We're gluing on our top piece because we melted that to get it off. And I'm also going to put a little bit of glue around the other pins because what happens is they get brittle. And they flex, and they'll eventually break. You know, my luck is the shipper, something will happen in shipping. Now, I do a lot of packaging when I ship. Oh, I don't want it to get messed up. I'm feeling it. You see I'm feeling around. I'm like, where's it really vibrating at? And you can see one of these, that post is the one that's broken. And there's another one here that I'm going to go ahead and get it around that post. I'm not trying to get a big giant blob. It's more like a cushion, like you're making a cushion. We're gonna get that out of here. Don't worry about that. I know you saw that. I know. Come right out. I painted this so it doesn't corrode. Get those out of here. Had a little bit of black paint left. Always a good use for black paint. All right, ready for the next part? What are we doing? Still staring at it? Waiting for the glue to dry? All right, snap that top piece on using your sides of your hands on the sides on the metal cage underneath and make sure it goes in. Everything from this point on should go together like a glove. You can squeeze it. Squeeze on the corners. Make sure it feels tight. There's a clip up there. Make sure it's in the right spot. It's not a clip. It's like a guide. 6 screws are going to hold this top piece in. You're not going to torque these down real hard. You're not driving this thing down the road. That's one of these. That one was the one that was broken. We're not even going to try to put a screw in there because if we do, it's going to rattle around. One screw is not going to make or break us. Next, we're going to take the bottom And we are going to snap it together. We're going to keep an eye on it. Make sure everything's lining up correctly. And it'll just snap right back together. And then your top pieces are the same. They snap in. Now on the top pieces, I spray them down with silicone. I hit them with the brush again to make sure all the dirt and dust is out of it as much as possible. And then I wipe it down and snap it in. And then of course the unit's given a final spray with silicone and wipe down. And there it is. Now we're going to do our face plate. And we're going to snap it on. Plug that in. That's it. That is going to be it here, folks. I got to find the other half of this video. Alright guys, so at this point I'm just going to glue this thing together and snap it on. I see that the testing part where I show my TV is just barely going to be there in this video. There it is. Oh, no, I can see it now while I'm playing it. This is weird. This video stuff is very interesting. Maybe I should stretch my timeline out. But there it is. It works. Got some cool background on it. It'll be up for sale on eBay. 99 cents starting bid, console only.